I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Okay, your mom tried to protect you, but anyway. Hello everybody, my name is Lacon, and welcome to this part 2 of What Remains of Edith Finch. I hope you had a good day, I hope you staying hydrated, I hope you drink enough water. And anyway, let's actually continue on with what's going on here. So, let's go. Is it really that hard to open? Come on.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Why? You seem like they're kind of like a nice guy, I don't know.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
You know, maybe he wasn't that good of a person and she was just trying to protect you and you're just jumping into conclusions at the moment. Anyway.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Aw. That's kind of sad though. Walter. I wonder what happened here. Also, why is there like a light going off there? I don't know.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
By the way, my console, my PS4 is actually going insane in the background. I hope it's not picking up that bad. But damn. Okay. I mean, I am kind of sweating. I am kind of enclosed in a booth, so it's kind of hot for me too.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Would it?
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Okay.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
There's a light over there, still working.
And when you look at the house,
Okay.
that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
I'm guessing it wants us to go to the light.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Your family, I guess. Oh, we can't fall off. That's good at least.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Oh.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh. Coco. Okay. Bailey. Okay.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Volta. Barbara Finch.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
We constantly hear about Edie. I have no idea who she is.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Okay. Is there anything we need? What?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
I'm going this way.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
There's a lot of death here.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Oh, okay. Do you have a belly? Oh, okay.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Why can't I? Oh. There's a door. Okay.
They were both pretty intense.
Sam. 1950 to 1983.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
You guessing? Okay, let's read this.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Can't see
These
anything.
memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
shooting.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Don, then we can take off.
Of you off. Ah, right.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
Ah, there you are. Hi.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
You reading a book in the rain?
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Just any picture? Ah.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
Is there anything else around us?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving. Hey!
That's
Okay.
a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
What, taking
You know
pictures?
who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Every time he does a flash, I just have to close my eyes.
Last time I was with my
Dad.
brother Calvin. Man,
Dad!
good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Of that thing? What am I looking at? It's so hard to see.
Dad,
Okay.
Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
Great shot, Don!
Ah. A selfie time.
I'm proud of you, Don.
Oh,
Always
I
remember
need to
that,
get in.
okay?
I know it's a game, so I'm not going to
Dad!
crying over
It's
that.
twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Well, that's what it gets you. It got ya. And it was captured on film as well.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Why? It's a stupid way to die. Just, no. Hello, Grizzly. Burr, whatever you are.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
It's a double bed, but only one side is used. That seems familiar to me. Airline ticket. Where you going, honey? K. Smith. K. Finch, I think that meant. Why did I read it Smith? What the hell? Aw, kitty. Let me see what's on the other side. No? Are we just gonna leave? I guess we're gonna leave. Well, where should I be going? Oh, there's something here. Okay. Sorry about that. Just casual.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
That painting looks creepy. Gregory. That looks like one of those monsters from the movie I Am a Legend. If you ever watch that, it's a good movie. One of my favorites. What does that say? Divorce contract. No, Edith, why are you putting it away? What are you doing? Stop. Edith, stop.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Hi.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
For instance. Oh, the thingy's following it. Can we do something? Oh, okay. Oh, we can.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to. Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
Okay, sweetie.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Are we meant to like... Toys!
I
Hi!
wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
Yay! Okay.
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
That looks creepy.
Lost in his imagination.
Honestly. Yo!
Whatever it was he saw.
Yo! Wait, are we trying to get the whale to drop? Wait. Oh, are we trying to get in the middle of it? Okay. And then... jump? Trying to get the whale.
It sure made him happy.
Got it. Hi whale, how are you? Oh, you're not gonna... Okay. Wait, let me get on top of him again. This is actually harder than it looks, by the way. Come
I
on.
know how silly it sounds.
Bubbles.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear
What
this.
happened? Baby bubble bonanza. Bubble bath. Bonanza. Can I not do... Oh, I can do. I was just like, can I not do anything? I can.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Is he going to drown? No! Let's turn it off. Wait.
Hey, there's so
I can't.
much I
Okay.
don't understand. About Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
It wasn't your fault.
I'm sure he's happy.
He died with an imagination.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
So, did he drown or did he get... Oh, well, okay, he drowned. Never mind. I was just about to ask, wait, did he like actually go through the canals? But... Stupid question. Okay, next up we got Gus, Eddie, Milton, and Lewis. And Dawn as well. Okay. Hello, Gregory. Dawn. Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
She wrote poetry? She wrote a poem? I like poetry.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, we meant to get all the... Okay.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I remembered.
Husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I can hear in the background the wedding, I guess. What am I meant to be doing? I don't get it. Hi, little tree. Can I get over you? There's something here. Hi, Woods.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Whoa!
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Ah. Well, there goes the tent.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Okay, quite a strange way to die.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay, Gus. You do you. Emergency evacuation plan, Finch household. So, wait, this is a military school? What? I'm confused. I thought those were just like normal house. Of course, we had to
My mom
climb.
moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh, okay, that's a one way of looking at your kids, making sure they don't do anything you don't want them to.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay. Fly to India. Dawn Finch. Is there anything else we can look here? I don't want to get down there. I want to see this, okay.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
I guess.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Oh, they got homeschooled. Analyze objectively, never stop learning, assume nothing, respect criticism, ask tough questions. Assume nothing. No, that's like I don't know. They even had a pet thingy, class pet, whatever you call that. Great job,
But
awesome.
it didn't last.
It didn't last. Kingdom Final Class Order. Oh my god. I think I've learned it something like King, Porio, or Fat Juicy Chicken. Oh, I don't remember how I was learned in school. I left school. I don't need to learn any of that anymore. I don't need to know any of that anymore. Is that like the old iMac? iMac. Just whatever this was called. MacBook. To teach and to learn. Dawn Finch. Okay, teacher.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
I would like a castle as well. I don't have one. Milton.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Why did he disappear? Oh, never mind. Really? But you left the windows open? What was the point of closing the doors then? Wow. I wish I was involved in art because I like expressing myself and I just sort of don't have any ways of expressing myself other than writing. But I just prefer to draw, but I can't draw anything, so why can't I go? Hello. Oh, it does it automatically, okay. Oh no, it doesn't, never mind. That's fun. Milton.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Wait, how do I... Ah, okay. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, okay, I get it. Right, he disappeared.
I was 4 when
right.
Milton disappeared.
Yeah. Unlucky. Unlucky.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Was she just...
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Was she just sealing doors if they were dead? Interesting.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Well, look at this. This must be an insane room. I would spend like most of my time in that room. If that's how it looked like. Let's see.
Everyone always told me
Yeah.
to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
You literally have like such a good view from here as well. I thought you were gonna smash the window. But she didn't. Ah, come on, Edith. Open. Open the door. Or the window, I guess.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
So you may maybe close that window behind you. Just saying. I'm guessing he was a bit of a gamer, was he? Okay. Let's see.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
What are we doing? Ah,
He kept working at the cannery,
okay.
but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Whoa, okay.
I asked him to describe it.
2 things at the same time.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, doggy.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Everybody seems to have an imagination.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Aw.
He no longer spoke at the cannery.
Sorry.
But his chopping
Can't
was
see.
as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished.
Kind of like lucid dreaming.
He held an election for mayor,
Election, man.
and he won.
Of course.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
He has an imagination, but very unique names for his cities, I guess.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome queen, beautiful prince. Let's go. Let's go.
beautiful prince.
Beautiful prince. Very shiny. Hi.
The prince was on his own quest for
Radiant rainbows. Let's go. No. Let's go.
radiant rainbows.
Radiant rainbows. No. We can't go back. Guess. Fuck.
He followed the sound of his
Electric silver harp. Okay, let's go.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
That looks a bit like Assassin's Creed Origins. Just a tiny bit.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Okay, loading screen.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh, that's one way of going insane.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. That looks not as good as the imagination. Imperial Palace. Ordered today.
He began
Let's
to
go.
forget the world we know.
Aww.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
I think this place would smell.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
How are you doing? How are you doing? I already forgot his name. Damn. Something cannery worker. Whatever. How are you doing? You're not really doing it right, honey. Damn.
I still thought I could save him.
There's
Even
no
after he
use.
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yay. This actually looks so cool, not gonna lie. Hey. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
You're right there, Arnold. Let's go. Hi there, Oscar. Okay. Everyone is so happy, like, yeah. So happy to see me. Thank you. Hi. Hi, Kyle. How
His
you doing?
prince waited, holding his crown.
Holding his crown.
There was only one thing left to do.
What is it? What is it, honey?
Bend down his head.
Oh, I don't like this. I think you're gonna die if you do that, but sure.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Is this implying that he did it to his own head when he was doing with all these fishes?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
By fishes, I mean fish. I know the plural of fish, don't worry. That's a flag.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Was he adopted? Okay.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
So why did you leave, honey? I was just about to say, oh, the food is going to be spoiled, but there is no food. So... This just looks sick. Imagine actually
What happened that
living
night
in
had been
here.
coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Maybe. Oh, now we're going to Eddie, right?
But it had to end one way or another.
Oh my god.
All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
I always wanted to have like a room like this. And I could have had like a room like this, but I never actually worked it out. Ah. Whatever his name was, Oscar, how we doing, honey? There's the king. Okay. Edith. That's your room. Okay. Now you're gonna write your own story, okay.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Okay. Do they not have butterflies? Yeah, they do. Hi, butterfly. I like butterflies.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
But you did.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
It's the library? Okay.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Are they talking about the curse?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
How many children did you have? Oh god. 3.
Have the
Okay,
nursing
never mind.
home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch. Oh, is that the grandma? Okay, Edie.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Just go straight.
I got turned around.
Oh, did you?
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
Are you gonna be like the canny worker? Whatever his name was.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Okay.
Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh, and this is just perfectly working even though it sank. Okay.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car, and I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Gone as in... Okay.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Did ya?
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Yeah, life is precious.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Oh god, she's giving birth.
I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, hello there. Yeah, but what happened on that night that Edith went to the house and... I think I'm gonna sign off here and let the credits roll. Thank you everyone for watching this series. I hope you liked it as much as I did, because I enjoyed this. Hi, Trophy. How are you? So yeah, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like. If you didn't, make sure to dislike, whatever you do. Make sure to subscribe. Hey. Also, make sure to comment down below some nice stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.